let's go ahead. Now I'm going to show you the Traveler Bartop arcade machine that I built down here in my basement arcade. Now, just to recap, the two machines that I've already built down here in the basement arcade, I'm going to go and show you. They're on the bar top right now. Okay, the first one I built, this is the one that runs the Pandora's Box 5S here. This actually is my look for the Pandora's Box 5S arcade machine. That's this one here. The second bar top that I built, this is the Legacy bar top arcade machine. This one is actually dedicated to my dad. Now, the third one that I have, this is going to be the Traveler bar top arcade machine. Now, to give you a little background on this machine, this machine originally was an iCade 60-in-1 machine. I don't have the iCade bar top machine anymore. I actually converted it over to this right here. It's the same cat and everything that the iCade machine had, but it's now running on a Raspberry Pi front end, okay, with a Raspberry Pi. Let me go ahead and show you some dimensions and things here on the cabinet as well, so you can get an idea how big it is. Now, the one thing you're going to notice different about this is the way the monitor is mounted is different. The original cabinets actually have the monitors mounted horizontally, as you can see here, the same way you would have on your computer. That's how these cabinets are actually mounted with the monitors. This cabinet actually has a monitor mounted up and down for games like Pac-Man and things like that. The primary games you have to realize when you're building these is what you're going to be focusing on. These machines over here focus on games more that are the horizontal variety, like Robotron, Mechanical Toy, games like that, Missile Command, that are in the horizontal orientation that these screens are at. This one's dedicated more for machines that are in the upright format, like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, things like that, to give it that true arcade aspect. So that's why the monitor's mounted up and down inside the cabinet. Now, you're also going to notice as a result of that, the other cabinets are actually a little shorter. As you're going to see, they're actually shorter because the monitor sits lower because it's mounted horizontally. On the ones that are vertical that go up and down, the cabinet's going to be a little bit higher, but it's also going to be a little bit narrower here, as you can see with the control panel. Now, one of the things that makes this cabinet unique is the fact that this is a Traveler arcade. Is if you look on the cabinet, I'll show you from the side. The profile and everything on the side is very similar to what I had before, but the difference is there's actually a hook up here where I can actually hook a handle on here that will extend up, and then I actually can use this as a luggage carrier. And on the back of here, there's actually wheels here that are actually mounted into the back. So this actually is portable. I actually take this to different places and things when I go on my vacations and things. Now, you're going to notice, too, that in the back of the machine, everything back here is pretty compact. One of the things about the Traveler is everything is very, very compact. Like I have my speakers and everything here, but you can see how there's not a whole lot of room back here. Everything's pretty tight. It has a standard power strip that I use on all my cabinets to power everything. It's got the speakers mounted on the left and right. It's got the Logitech speakers. It's got a power supply mounted in here. Now, this power supply just powers the LEDs. The actual power for the Raspberry Pi comes off here, comes off of the power strip here. And then everything else pretty much is standard as with all my cabinets. I have a handle on the back for lifting it, okay? And it also has the same metal construction that all the other cabinets have, with a metal framework inside here to make this cabinet very, very strong. This cabinet is absolutely rock solid when I build these. Okay. Now also it has the speakers coming out on the side here as well. As you can see, there's a speaker output here. Okay. Now one difference this cabinet has is a keyboard. On the original cabinet I did not have a small keyboard. This is actually using a small keyboard. This is actually using a wireless keyboard, which is a lot smaller than my previous cabinet. I'm going to be eventually converting the other cabinet over to that as well for the keyboard and things like that. Now let me go and show you some of the features and things and what it looks like inside this machine as well. Okay, and then as usual, it has a handle on the front too. Now, one thing unique about this cabinet is because it's portable, it actually has a headphone jack. I can actually plug my headphones in here and use my headphones when I'm in a hotel room or something so I don't disturb other people. Now, this machine has traveled. So far, I've taken this machine on my trips to Atlantic City so far, and I've had a lot of fun with it. So this machine has actually traveled on the road already with me. And you're going to notice, too, that because of the fact that it's a Traveler bar top, it is a little narrower. This cabinet's designed basically with a minimal amount required. It's basically just as wide as the monitor. That's why it's a lot more compact, so it can be carried easier for traveling purposes. Okay? Let me go ahead and mount the camera here on the tripod, and I'll show you what the inside of this machine looks like. And then we'll do a little gameplay too for you, just to show you what it looks like, and I'll also show you the interface too. Okay, let me move the camera here, let in here so you can see this. Now, the control panel features the standard buttons that I had on the other machines. It has the Siemens LS232 joystick, and it also has the same buttons that I got from Holland Computers. These actual push buttons here are lighted with LEDs. Okay, now just like all my other cabinets, the actual glass and everything that's mounted here, this is actually quarter-inch glass, real glass. This is not plexi. This is a real glass. It's quarter-inch thick, so it can take a beating. When I use this as a luggage carrier, what I do is I set my luggage on top of this, and then I actually have bands that hook from here to here and wrap around, so my luggage can sit on top of this, and that way I can take it and use it as a luggage carrier, and it works really, really well. And then I just put a bag over the top of this when I go through, and nobody even knows the difference between this and the luggage carrier. Okay? Now let me go ahead and show you what the inside looks like. As usual, I can lift the control panel out, as you can see here. Same thing with the other cabinets. If I need to service this, the control panel actually lifts out, and then I can actually service this machine just like with the other ones. I can actually set this on top so I can actually work on this. On the inside here, once again, it's a Siemens LS32. I do have a controller board in here that basically converts all the signals for the Raspberry Pi that's inside here. This is actually a converter for it, just like an iPad. That's what this is right here, and it converts the signals into here. And then there's a wire that feeds the LED lights that you see on the inside. Okay. Now on the inside, let me show you what's on the inside here too, so you can see that. Now on the inside, we actually have in the back here, there's actually a Raspberry Pi that's actually mounted on the inside that actually powers this as well on the inside of the cabinet. Okay, let me go ahead and show you what that looks like from this angle here so you can see that a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to take this camera off the tri-stand so I can show that to you a little bit better. Okay, as you can see right there, that actually what you're seeing there, that's actually the Raspberry Pi that actually powers the whole unit. Now, this actually is a clear case variety, which I thought was pretty cool in this situation here, so it worked out pretty good. Then coming out of there, you can see there's two jacks there that basically come out there to feed the audio. One goes to the speakers in the back, and one goes to the audio, the jack you see right there in the front for the headphones. Okay. Then this is also powered. There's an S-video cable then that runs to the back here that powers the monitor that you're seeing here. Okay. Let me go ahead and show you some actual gameplay, and also I'll show you what the interface and everything looks like as well. Okay. Let me set my camera back here, and then I'll show you the next part. Okay, let me go ahead and show you what the next part's going to be. And what we'll do now is I'll actually show you the interface that I'm using, and then we'll do a little bit of gameplay as well. Okay. All right, move this back here so you can see some gameplay. Okay, let me turn the light off here. Okay, let me move the camera here so you'll be able to see this. Should show it pretty well. Okay. All right, now the interface that I'm using on this is using RetroPie. Okay, so let me go ahead and exit out so I can show you what I'm using. Yeah, this is basically just using a RetroPie front end. This is the same front end that I have. If you look at the in more detail, the legacy Bartop arcade machine uses the same front end that this uses. Now, if I go back to the main screen, you're going to see that this is RetroPie. That's actually what this is using, is RetroPie. And then I actually have a favorites category. Now, the main difference with this cabinet is all the games that I have, basically they're on the game list here. This is designed with the cabinet to be up and down. So it gives it true arcade proportions. That's one thing that's really nice. Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and we'll start out with a game of Pac-Man Plus, okay? And then basically when I want to load it in, this is a game of all the games that I have. Now, I'm currently using these games are all running on the main Liberto that's on the Raspberry Pi RetroPie front end that I have, okay? Let's go ahead and begin a game of Pac-Man Plus. Now you're going to notice that the arcade dimensions and everything, because of the fact the monitor is mounted this way, it actually gives you true arcade dimensions versus having it on a monitor that's actually smaller. This gives you the true arcade dimensions here. That's why this monitor is mounted up and down the way it is. Okay. So let's go begin a little bit of gameplay. When I want to credit up the machine on here, on the control panel, I push this button here for credit, and then I actually hit this button for start. And let's do a little bit of gameplay on Pac-Man Plus. Now I do have it set on the fast speed setting. So as you can see, the gameplay and everything on this is pretty smooth. Pac-Man Plus is always a lot of fun too because of all the ways that it changes, the different features that it has. One thing I always liked about Pac-Man Plus too. We'll see how far we can get on this game here. I wanted to mention too that also in the video now, I do have some Las Vegas videos and things that I put up as well now. I've been in the process of putting ones up that I had from my vacation from last year. And there's also some room videos and things as well now that I have too. You're going to notice that also, like with Pac-Man Plus, sometimes when you eat power pellets and things, not all the ghosts change. Which is one of the things that's pretty cool about this. Is it's a little different than Pac-Man. It's an upgrade on Pac-Man, but very, very cool. And also I want to mention too, this cabinet does produce in full stereo, left and right channels as well on the back. And the monitor I'm using this cabinet has, if I remember correctly, has an LG 17-inch monitor, if I remember correctly, on this last time I checked it. As you can see, the screen and things will black out and stuff. That's one of the things that makes Pac-Man Plus very unique. And I also want to mention too that if you have an arcade machine or something that you built and you'd like to showcase it, feel free to leave the link at the bottom of feel free to leave the link in the comments section down below. That way we can check out other cabinets people have made as well. I always try to encourage everybody to have input on any of the videos that I have, because that's one of the reasons I make these videos, as I like the fact that everybody enjoys them, and also, yeah, I enjoy seeing other people's videos as well. And also one thing nice too is that I find it with the S video and everything too, the S video also gives you a really nice picture too. So as you can see, the performance and everything on this is pretty good. I've been very happy with the Pandora's box performance as a whole. I haven't had any problems. Now I am using the newest version of the Raspberry Pi, I meant to say, and I found that Raspberry Pi does do a pretty good job. Okay, so now you got a chance to see. Now you actually got a chance to see what the latest our Bartop arcade machine looks that I built down here in my basement arcade. I want to thank you, by the way, for tuning into the Kurt's Place channel, and I hope you all have a really nice day, and we'll catch you on the next video. Have a great day now. Bye-bye, everybody.